Welcome back to this segment, this video, 5 Minutes with KeRusso. You might hear the birds, and it's a beautiful spring day here. And I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. So if you hear the birds in the background, that's an extra little blessing for you. I want to talk to you about blessings this morning because you might be in the need of blessings. We're looking at this book of Ruth, taking an adventure trying to discover the meaning here. What was going on in this story and how does that relate to us? I share with you a little bit of the story here. It's going to summarize quite a few things from chapter 2. At the end of chapter 1, you have the barley harvest that's taking place. Naomi and Ruth are widows. They're destitute. Naomi's gone back home to Bethlehem. Ruth has followed her. She's going to a place that she does not know, to be with people she does not know, to follow a God that's not been her God as she grew up. And again in chapter 2, she says to Naomi, I need to go out and get some food. And so one of the things that was set up in Israel is that the poor people could go to the fields of the rich, and they could harvest behind the harvesters. And the harvesters were supposed to leave grain behind for the poor. And Naomi and Ruth are poor. So that's what Ruth does. And if you look in chapter 2 and you read there in verse 3, Ruth goes out, enters the field, and begins to glean behind the harvesters. And as it turned out, she was working in the field belonging to Boaz, who was from the clan of Elimelech. This little phrase, as it turned out, another way of saying that, just by chance. And it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek remark by the writer, because this is not by chance. God's working. The Lord God is working in Ruth's life already. She doesn't know it yet. She just thinks it's by chance she ends up going to this field that happens to end up being Boaz's field, who happens to be a relative because he's in the same family, the same clan as Elimelech. And Boaz shows up that day. Maybe he does every day. But on this day, when just by chance Ruth shows up, he's there. And look how Boaz greets his workers. He says to them, the Lord bless you, and the Lord be with you. And they say to him in response, the Lord bless you. He gives you some kind of insight into the relationship that these people, Boaz and his workers, have with the Lord God. He's their personal God. Now, he notices Ruth there, and he asks about her. And then he begins, when he finds out who she is, he begins to do all kinds of nice things, good things for her that he doesn't have to. And Ruth's wondering what's going on, what's happening to her. And she finally says to Boaz in verse 10, says, Why have I found such favor in your eyes that you notice me, a foreigner? Now, the word notice me, that verb notice me and foreigner are kind of related, because they both, another way of saying this, why would you notice somebody who's not noticeable? Why would you recognize the unrecognizable? Because the foreigner has no standing. And Ruth understands that she has no standing in Boaz's eyes. But he notices her, and he tells her, the reason why I'm doing this is because of what you gave up to take care of Naomi. So I'm responding to what you have already done. And then listen to what he says to her. May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. None of this is by chance. None of this just happens. God is already taking care of Ruth, who's given up everything for Naomi, and given up her home, and given up her family, and given up the God that she knows, and is trusting herself as an outsider to a new God, to the Lord God. Now, I believe that has something to say to us. I asked you last week the question, what kind of God is God? That really comes to bear when God is put to the test. Not that you test him, but when you've trusted him with everything, and you are at the bottom, and who's going to hold you up? Boaz believes the Lord God would hold up Ruth, and he does. See that as the story plays out. I believe he'll hold up everyone. The Lord God will hold up everyone who gives up everything for him. And if you look around you, you'll see the testimony of that in people's lives and how God takes care of those who have come to take refuge under his wings. Just want to offer that to you. It may be a blessing to you. Thank you for your time. Again, you can leave any comments or send an email at booksbyKeRusso@gmail.com, and I'll respond to you. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.